Hey everyone, welcome back to another Slimefun episode with your host Boomer, and today we are in the end, and there is a reason why. No, we're not going after the end dragon yet. First and foremost, though, I want to tell you why it took a couple days for me to get this up and running. I've been working on a couple of other projects on the server that I'm a mod on Blue Mythos. And then I'm also was in a process of converting my server here, this one, from Spigot to paper. And going from 1.16.3 to 1.16.5. And I thought, in my vast amount of no knowledge when it comes to paper or running servers, what it takes to actually do the conversion. So I downloaded paper, got the server up and running, copied my worlds over, copied the plugins over, thought that was all I needed to do. And after about an hour of frustration, I went on the Discord and says, guys, I'm having problems. What am I missing? And Riley, for those of you who know Riley on the Discord server, is one of the devs, saved my butt. He realized that there was a folder an entire folder I did not copy over. And because of it, I couldn't interact with 90% of the Slimefun items. So a humongous shout out to Riley, you awesome dude. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your help. But why are we in the end today? Well, we're going to be talking Corps, Zots, and Daxies. And you say, what the hell are you talking about, Boomer? Well, we are talking about TranscEndence. Now, I had looked this up in the guide. Sorry, guys, I wasn't ready here. And I said, what is this? And I could not figure any of this out because there's, unfortunately, up in here, there's very little direction. There's some, but not much. What needs to be in here is that there is a guide. It needs to be made aware that there's a guide. And the only reason I figured this out is on the Discord server, the one mention I saw of TranscEndence, somebody said /TE guide. So if you go /TE guide, you will get this guide. And without this guide, I'd have been completely clueless. So recommendation to the devs, you somehow mention, check the TE guide, do something to incorporate it so that people know there's more than this. Because I'm not seeing anybody using TranscEndence. I don't know why that is. I haven't seen it anywhere. I could not find one video of it on YouTube. And I'm wondering if that might be part of the reason why people aren't talking about it as much, is because they don't even know the guide is there, and the guide has so much pertinent information. So let's talk about what this is. First, TranscEndence only works in the end. And I mentioned Corps. So Corps are the resources that are obtained by using an oscillator, which only works in the end. The Corps oscillator works the same way as a quarry does. It pulls stuff magically out of thin air. So if we look at the oscillator, it's pulling Corps. And there are 4 types of Corps. There's up, left, down, and right. Hence the 4 colors I've got. Okay? And it pulls it out at a regular, consistent pace. So while that's doing that, we'll keep reading. Again, you get 4 types, up, down, left, right. You can force that oscillator to spawn more Corps of the up and down, vertical ones, or the left and right, horizontal ones, by using a polarizer. So if I had cargo pulling these out and sorting them into their own storage facility, and I put in the polarizer, I put in a horizontal one. So more often than not, I will get left or right Corps. Now, I will still get up and down ones, but the majority of them will be left or right over a period of time. All right, so we'll let that go for a bit. Page 3. Unstable ingots are the basic material to craft all endgame items. And be careful, this is no bull. They will kill you very quickly. As a matter of fact, I'm going to recommend Dev, in creative mode, it kills you. That should not happen under any circumstance. There is no reason why in creative I need to be killed. Matter of fact, it almost stopped me from doing this video because of that. So please fix that so that does not happen. I know it's probably not a bug. It was just an honest oversight, but it needs to be fixed. So let's look at the crafting recipes for these. So an unstable ingot. Well, to get a stable ingot, you have to use an unstable. So let's start first. What does it take to get a stable ingot? A Corp condensate. And essentially, a Corp condensate is in a Corp annihilator. You are going to put 2 Corps of opposite polarity. So if I put in a down, I also need an up. And after about 8 seconds, they will give me a Corp condensate, which I can use, which is awesome. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but now I do. All right, let's get back to the guide. In a stabilizer, I would take a almost stable ingot and a Corp condensate to make it stable. To get an almost stable ingot, I need a halfway stable ingot with a condensate in the stabilizer, and so on and so forth. So to get a pure unstable ingot, you need 4 blistering ingots, a diamond block, and 1 of each Corp. Okay, so let's do the math here, right? So to make the stable block make that block that it talked about, let's go back in the guide. Here we go. To make a stable block, right? That's what we were talking about. Makes 9 stable ingots. Each stable ingot requires, each stable ingot requires 4 oscillate, 4 blistering ingots. So for every stable ingot, I need 4 blistering. I need 9 stable ingots to make 1 block. So I need 36 blistering ingots, which means 36 uranium, 36 24 karat gold, 36 carbonado, 36 nether star. This thing is resource intensive to the level of infinity. And for what you get out of it, I'm going to say the payout is less than infinity. Saying I think you do more work for less return on here, but we don't know what we're going to get yet. So let's talk about that. So again, when we're talking about those unstable ingots, that's a lot. And that's the nanobot crafter, which is these 4 things right here: a dispenser, a crafting table, a chiseled stone block, and an end rod. Put it in a dispenser, click the crafting table. Because these are so unstable, man, they are so unstable, I can't even say it. You want to use cargo to move these things. So here's what I would do: is in your dispenser, I would place all of these items, place an input node, leave it on channel 1, set it to whitelist to start. Okay? Click your crafting bench so that inside of here you are left with an unstable ingot. You're going to turn your cargo node to blacklist to let it pull out that unstable ingot, because you don't want to try to maneuver one of those in there. Simply blacklist it. Okay? Have an output node go to this on blacklist on channel 1. All right? It will come into here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have your Corp condensates already built in here. And I would do no more than 4 at a time. I would do no more than 1 of these at a time. Because here's what you're going to do then. You're going to put an input node on the back side of this to pull out blacklist, but you're going to blacklist the condensate because you don't want it to pull the condensates out. You want the condensates to sit in there. So on one side, again, you've got an output node blacklisting everything to come in. On the other side, you have an input node blacklisting everything to come out, but you also blacklist the condensate so it won't pull those out. In other words, a fully unstable ingot comes in, it'll come in here. When it hits here, it will come out, come back in here as a 75%. It'll take another condensate, go out as a 50, come back in as a 50, takes another one, goes out as a 25, come back as a 25, grabs the last one, goes out as a fully stable ingot. Now, you don't want it coming back in here. That's where you grab that fully stable ingot. Or you can set, if you do the cargo right, you could put a second input node on here that is whitelisted for stable ingots only, and then send that to a storage facility. That way you never touch the unstable ingots in any way, shape, or form. All right, let's keep going through our guide here. Zots, new term, write that down, there's a test later. Zots can only be filled using the Zot overloader where corps are consumed to charge the dots. To charge a Zot, you need 1,000 corps of the same type. So if you are, because there's 4 Zots, there's up, down, left, and right. Whoops, sorry. There's up, down, left, and right, just like there are 4 corps, up, down, left, right. If you want to charge a Zot up, you need 1,000 corp ups. If you want to charge a Zot up with your miscellaneous, it takes 16 times as many, and you must put all 16 in at one time. It will not pull out one at a time. You have to put a minimum of 16 in there to turn that into 1 to fill the opposing style up. If I put in 1 corp up into a Zot up, I get it charged 1 more. So let's give Boomer a Zot up. Bingo. All right. Sorry, wrong one. Okay, so actually I already have a Zot up in here. Let's put a couple of Corp ups in here. Actually, let's start with a new one so you can see. So let's put that one in. It's going to get charged over here. Let's put in a Corp up. Hey, we've got 1 out of 1,000. Awesome. Let's put in 25 and let that run for a bit. So as you can see, it is charging. As this continues to go, and once it's fully charged, now it's a crafting ingredient towards other items, towards those Daxies. Okay? Remember I said you need 16 of another kind, so I can't just put 1. I have to put more than 1. At 15 it won't work. I need 1 more. Oops, apparently I can't do 1 either. I just grabbed all of it. Oh, what do I got to do now? Okay, 7. So it's only at 31. Now if I go back and try to put my Corp ups in, I can continue from there. So you see the difference? 1-to-1 versus 16-to-1 with a different style. Okay? So once these make a fully 1,000 charged Zot, now it can be used in a crafting ingredient towards a Daxie. Let's go back to our guide. Daxies are the ultimate goal of this journey, and each one gives you a potion effect that lasts until you die. Strength 3, Absorption 5, Resistance 4, Saturation or Regeneration 2. And each one needs a specific Corp or Zot fully charged to craft. So if I want the Strength, I need 4 Zots fully charged. So I need 4,000 Corps plus a stable ingot plus a stable block. And as if you remember, each stable block requires 36. Remember? It requires 36 blistering ingots. So, to make one Daxie, 148, because you got 4 more here in this ingot, 148 blistering ingots. This is why I say this is more resource intensive for the payout than Infinity is. To me, this is really insanely a lot of work and effort, and for me, it's not worth what I can't already get from Infinity Armor. Now, if you don't have Infinity Armor as an option, if you're really good in that dying and you want to put in that work, that's great, because to get all 5 of them, you are going to need 740 blistering ingots. Now, I have the capability in my base right now, after 2 months in this series, to do that. And actually, if I'd really been focused on creating blistering ingots, I probably could have done it inside of a day, maybe 2. But it took 2 months to have that many resources being generated to do that. Okay? So keep in mind, this is a lot of work. But you get all of those potential effects staying with you until you die. So if I wanted to fight the Ender Dragon, I might want to have all of those to give me every possible advantage going into it. And that's where it kind of makes sense. Or if I'm getting into a, I don't know, let's say 25 withers against me fight, that might be a good thing. Back to our guide. All right. On death, if you die, it drops 8 stable blocks for each effect you had. Now, this is not true. You don't use nether stars to craft Daxies. So again, the dev, this guide's got to be fixed. And if it drops 8 stable blocks, well, to craft a Daxie, you only need 4 stable blocks. But you've still got to go back and get the 4 Zots. So this, unfortunately, the guide really needs to be cleaned up and overhauled a bit to be correct and accurate. But to get 8 stable blocks for each one is great, because then again, you can set this up to automatically be a farm, a Zot-filled farm, right? You have the oscillator, so you pull these out, going to 1 overloader for each type, and you can have cargo bringing these in and out, right? So you have cargo bringing in the up Zots, and you have cargo pulling out the fully charged Zots. And I haven't tested this yet. I wonder if cargo coming in would put the Zot in the right place, the empty Zot. I'm hoping it would. I haven't tested it. Feel free to try it. If it doesn't work, make a suggestion to the dev to fix that so it does. A lot of the Slimefun machines, when they have a specific slot designated for a specific item, do have that program that they will only go in here even if these are open. So that would be my recommendation. Test it and find out if that works. All right, so let's go back into our guide. All right. Another thing we have in here is called the Corp Scatter. Let's say you've got all the Zots filled that you want, and you've got 10 million corps lying around. You can generate actually a fairly good amount of power. I mean, 1,536, that's 6 times, if I remember correctly, isn't it like 6 times a nuclear reactor? Or is it 1.5 times? It's 3 times. It's currently 3 times the power of a nuclear reactor. What does it take to craft these things? It might have been better to craft these than the darn nuclear reactors I crafted. 5 Corp condensates, well, no brainer there, right? 4 Corps. That's cheap as heck. Okay, this needs major overhauling. This is way too cheap. 18 Corps is all it takes to craft something that's 3 times as powerful as a nuclear reactor. Well, before I judge that, what does it take to craft a Corp oscillator? 4 blistering ingots, another star reactor, and 2 reinforced plates and 2 synthetic emeralds. So looking at this in combination, you pay up front to build this machine, but then you can build unlimited Corp scatterers with nothing. I don't have to lift a finger to make, I can automate these things. This recipe needs to be changed. This is way too easy. It's generating 3 times the power of a nuclear reactor, and I have to do nothing but put these into a crafting 3x3 deck. This is way too OP. Holy crap. Had I known this, I would have crafted this summon gun a long time ago and made thousands of these for free. But let's watch this. If I stick this in there, watch my power. Oh, it already has gone up because I already placed it. Let's destroy it and watch how fast the power goes down. Or the capacity. It's already down. Let's see. So we're at 429.14. Let's put it back down. Because if I remember right, it has a capacitor built in. 64K. Capacitor built in on top of it. Why did I ever build nuclear? Oh my gosh. So, wow. Is there anything else in this guide that we didn't talk about for TranscEndence? Let's see. The Zot overloader, we got the stabilizer, we got the Corp cycler. Okay, so the Corp cycler. I've got a bunch of right-facing Corps. Give me about 8 seconds or 10 seconds. I'm going to say 10 seconds probably is more like it. I don't want right-facing Corp. I want Corp downs. Hey, I can rotate which way the Corps face. You know, I don't know if there's a specific pattern. It looks like it's going to go right to down. Let's see what's next after down. It looks like it might follow a pattern. It might go right down, left up. Because it's a rotation. That would be my guess. To rotate, it would go from right down, left up. Based on the first one that went in. Yep, right down, left up. So you can change, if you need more of any one of these, simply work its way through to get the one you want. If you're getting thousands of Corp rights, but you need Corp downs, man, just put it in here and get the one that you want. Now, that's kind of nice. All right, that's everything in TranscEndence, guys. So my final thoughts on it. On a scale from 1 to 10, from a balance standpoint, I'm going to give it about a 2.5. It really needs to be rebalanced. Insanely too much material to get the resources. And again, this is my opinion. You may totally differ. You may think this is right on, and that's cool. This is just my little humble opinion. Comparing it to Infinity and what Infinity yields versus what you have to do to get here and what this yields, to me, it really needs a major rebalance. to get the ingots and 148 blistering ingots to get one of those effects. I can just plant a beacon and get the effects. So that's just way too hard. And then I think it's way too OP creating the scatters. Again, once I've built the oscillator, which I agree with that recipe, I think that's perfect. I think you should have to pay to build that machine, but then that second machine should be much more expensive. Because again, it's 3 times plus the power generation of a nuclear reactor. So for those of you who still can, because if this dev is watching and he or she chooses to make those kinds of changes, man, I would produce 1 million of those things right now before the recipe changes. Just saying, really cheap way to get an insane amount of nuclear power without having to build nuclear. But I like the idea that you had to work really hard to get, so I'm going to rate it a 5 overall. Because you do have to work really hard to get these effects, and I think you should, because there are some of them that you can't get any other way that I can think of off the top of my head. Guys, I really appreciate you watching this series, watching and commenting and participating here and on the Discord server. I'm still blown away. We're almost at 300 subs. As of this morning, we're 3 short. Man, I never thought I would reach 100, okay? I never really truly believed that we'd even get that far. So I am so grateful and thankful for all you guys and all that you do. Also, just on a quick note, we are on the Blue Mythos server. It is up and running. It is updated to 1.16.4. We've reset the end in another. It is a survival server. It does not have Slimefun, but it is up and running. In my channel, if you go to the most recent episode I've put on it, although I'm going to be doing another one today, the most recent episode has links to the website and how you can apply it as a whitelisted server. We've got an awesome staff team there and a lot of great players. We'd love to have you if you're interested. If not, hey, great. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, when you're going with Corps, Daxies, and Zots, you've got to go Boomer or you got to go home. We'll see you later.